Hey guys! Welcome back to DNN! So excited. We're so excited to be here. DNN 2020.
I'm so excited to be back. I genuinely missed being in front of the camera and actually just talking crap for hours and hours and hours. So, welcome back.
Welcome back, guys. It's so good to have you. It's 2020 and we have some amazing content up for you this year. So much more is going to happen. We are going to be into it deeper, better, faster, stronger. I feel like that's a song. Deeper, better, faster, stronger.
That's stronger by Kanye West.
Exactly, it is a song.
Yes.
I told y'all. So today we're really excited to bring you an incredible discussion since it is the month of
love. The setting says it, our makeup says it, our clothing says it. We are in love today. So, love. I feel like the conversation on love has been very sparse.
Sure.
There's this video that went viral, and I mean, I am kind of at fault for that. The whole Valentine is coming. I love that song. Like that beat when the beat drops.
Go again?
Valentine is coming. Where's your boyfriend? You are sitting alone. Lonely. Literally us nuts. I'll be chilling, literally doing nothing, and we hang out and I just start singing that song because it got stuck in my head. The beat is amazing. But that's not the point. The point is, after that video, I just got to thinking, I mean, we've always wanted to make a video on relationships and love, and relationships and love in all its senses, not just romantic, but family and friendships.
Yeah.
And after the video, I think we had like a very informal talk about this, but on that love that is not romantic is almost disenfranchised and it's not seen as something that is valuable and something that can actually add to you. And I mean, the song is corny and funny and the beat drops, but when you think about it, it's almost like if you don't have a boyfriend, if you don't have a girlfriend,
less, or
you are
falling
lonely
short, you're lonely
at home,
and life is not popping for you. And that is really one of the misconceptions that we want to not break per se, but enlighten you on.
Yes, and just have a conversation about this, you understand, because we are on both sides of it. I've been in relationships and felt lonely, and I've been by myself and felt very fulfilled, and I've been in friendships where I maybe didn't appreciate them enough, and so I felt lonely, or in friendships that are so healthy and so beautiful. So love is not one-dimensional, dimensional, sorry. The point is, we want to break this idea and break this misconception of love only being romantic love that is worth celebrating, that is worth working on, that is worth pursuing. She opens doors for me when I get in cars. She really does. She brings me breakfast in bed. She checks on me, and when I get back from school or whatever, like the first thing that I do is drop my stuff and then go see her. Like, you should pursue friendships, and I think we should have these conversations because we don't necessarily know how to pursue friendships, because the one thing or the example that's put out there is romantic. So we know that you're supposed to text them and be a psycho out of their window playing boombox, music from boombox or whatever.
What just
it's
happened?
A movie.
Okay.
It's a movie. Like there's a lot, basically
Yeah.
there's a lot of material out there on how to be a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a husband, but how to be a friend.
How to be a friend.
A good friend.
How to be a good daughter. A good sister
or brother.
Acquaintance, colleague, There's so many things that are missed. And I think for me, one thing that I love to do, I always, for example, my grandfather, who I love till the end of time, his soul's rest in peace. I said
souls, because he had 6 souls.
his soul rest in peace. But I call him one of the greatest loves of my life. So most of my friends and family members, I call them lovers because they are your lovers. They are people who share so much love with you, who know you, who care about you. And I like what she said, we have such a spotlight on romantic relationships, so much so that we don't even appreciate.
We
don't even recognize, we don't even value the friendships that we have. And then you wonder why some friends literally up and leave, or they're just like, you're not, you know what I mean? Because you are sort of treating them nonchalant as if they have to be there, and they don't have to.
They don't have
and
to.
we're going to talk about that as well. So let's get into it. DNN. Speaking about love, specifically today on
friendships.
Friendship.
I was under pressure.
And we'll also bring you another incredible video also on love, where Divine will be talking about
a single
life. And Nokotula, which is me, Nox, will be talking about,
in case you didn't know,
in case you didn't know, romantic relationships.
I'm so excited.
Celebrating my first Valentine's. So excited.
I was so annoyed, but the food was amazing. They shared their food with me. That was so sweet. By the way, if you're in a relationship and you have friends and you don't bring them food from your dates, you are a bad person.
We'll see you now. Devon and I are incredibly close friends, and we didn't share that we actually stay in the same house.
I feel like we're ruining for everybody.
Low-key,
Like
guys.
everybody will be having a good day and then we see each other. And literally we have the best time. I'm so
We
happy.
really have the best time, and I'm so blessed that she's here. I think not only beyond just, okay, we're doing Divine Unlocks, but as a person, myself and her, it's a great support system.
Yes.
There's nothing nicer than knowing that you can consult and confide
Yeah.
in someone who's just right there, someone you love and trust.
Yeah.
So honestly, thank you, friend.
Oh, stop it. Not now. Literally, I would start crying. I do be like that. So let's not do that.
So, friendships. What are friendships? Let's ask Google.
So Google says, a friendship is a relationship of mutual affection between people. It is a strong form of interpersonal bond that
An association has been studied in academic field. What? Okay, let's just go back to those first few lines. That was perfect. I couldn't read. Okay, let me read.
Friendship is a relationship of mutual. That's point number one. Mutual affection between people. It is a stronger form of interpersonal bond than just an association.
oh,
Yeah. So we believe, and then there's many studies that have been done, people studying friendship. And I think let's talk about that. What is friendship? It's mutual.
yes,
Okay. So when mutuality, is that a word?
yes, yes.
Okay, cool. You guys will tell us if that's a
In
real
the
word.
comments.
Mutuality, when you have that within friends, that's what's I feel the first step.
Yes.
Mutually, both of you would want to be in this relationship.
Yes.
You'd want to both pursue it,
Yes.
and actions equally, not equally per se, but both of you will show
Reciprocity.
reciprocity.
It's very
Yo,
important.
guys, what schools did we go to? Damn!
And I'm post-grad. I've got 2 degrees.
Reciprocity is so crucial,
Yeah.
and I think that's what is the first step when it comes to building or starting a friendship.
So I also think for me, friendships go beyond what can I do for a person, but it's genuinely actually wanting to see the person do well and genuinely loving the person. And I feel like in friendships, it's become very transactional, where it's like, what do I
Sure.
get out of this? And it's really difficult to find somebody that just wants to love you, because like I had a conversation with a really great friend of mine recently, and we're just talking about like our relationship and our friendship. And then this person said, you know what, I actually just love you because, and then the person was like, I didn't love you in the hopes that you were gonna love me back, I just loved you. And that's how it should be. It should just be love as it is.
I love that. I think it's so important to the it's not transactional.
Yeah.
So let's now put it into categories. Friendships, or good, healthy friendships, mutual.
Yeah.
Not good and not healthy is when you're having friendships to take things from each other.
Yes. And
that goes across to any relationship. If you're
Yeah.
getting into a relationship to gain,
Yeah.
of course, naturally,
it's a byproduct. The
it's a
point is
byproduct, right?
that transaction, and that, I mean, she makes me breakfast some mornings. I mean, I wake up to breakfast, you understand? It wasn't planned or anything. No, she really, like, if my men don't treat me like Knox treats me, bye. That's the, that's one, it's one of the standards.
Yeah.
But my point is, the things that you give somebody and the transaction that comes into the relationship is a result of love. It's not to get the love, you understand? And so that's a fruit of that. A fruit that there is something, there should be all these things that you do for the person, but it should never be something that is the main core. Because when the things are the main core, when the things don't happen, then you feel like there's no love in that
at all,
relationship.
yeah.
So I think it's very important. I think also in relationships and in friendships, there needs to be boundaries, and that's when purposes, I thought it was very important. You understand? It's very important that we speak about the purpose of a friendship, because you can be in a very loving relationship, but somebody that only tells you what you want to hear is not a good friend.
True.
My mom told me once, and it's like, my mom is writing, she should write a book. Like the things that she says to me, sometimes I'm like, I'm trying to make notes, just Literally, whenever I get into a room, sometimes I just press my phone and start recording. You never know where it's gonna go. You never know. My mom really just drops bars, and she once told me, she's like, if somebody's in your life and they only tell you what you want to hear, they don't want to see you be well. So basically, she was saying, if somebody never calls you out or tells you in love when you are wrong or when you are right, or even calls you out on you are not living up to your potential friend, like, you know how many times she's told me you doing this, and I'm just like, and she's like, no, you're doing this, and I'm always so grateful that I have. And there's somewhere I tell her friend, no, listen, we say we're gonna do this time, or this is how this makes me feel.
Yeah.
And so you need friends that are actually going to be helpful. A friend is supposed to help you grow. A friend is supposed to challenge you. A friend is supposed to make you softer in the ways that you weren't, and it's supposed to make you stronger in the ways that you weren't.
I love that. I love the part about your friend is supposed to make you softer in ways that, because Divine and I will always talk about this, that we all come from different backgrounds.
Yeah.
So communication and talking to your friend is so important when it comes to explaining to them or showing them your love language.
Yes, and that's something, that's a
whole other section, and we're going to talk about that just now. So it's so important for you to be in a friendship open, and that's where it comes trust. And I think it's another thing under friendship. You need to trust the person enough, and they need to trust you so that you can open beyond, because there's friendship.
Yeah, very surface.
Okay, like we're friends. Okay, cool. But there's that friendship that breaks through, and it's like, okay, now this person knows me in and out, my flaws and all. You know, because there's that friendship where you're kind of perfect out there. You know, Nox, Divine, cool. There's like, you know, a
honeymoon.
It's between a good friendship and association. It's like somewhere in there. And then you have that good friendship, that wholesome friendship where you don't even care but to be yourself around that person. That is like love.
I think it's what you're mentioning now, this really hit me, that in the same way, I saw this quote that was basically saying that marriage is not just about you and your person, but it is about you bringing the healing to a whole community. It's not just the person, it's the whole family. Your friendships should also bring healing, you understand? If there's sides of you that maybe were hurt and you never knew how to trust people, and you never felt that you could actually open up to people, in your friendship there should be an element of actually, you know, this is somebody that can bring healing to a certain area, somebody that can teach me something as well. So I think it's very important that friendship should also be purposeful. Now, we're not saying that now you must have a tick box and say, well, if you don't fulfill all of these, then, you know, chuck the goose.
Hi, you want to be my friend? So
yes. No.
You're gonna heal me?
You don't cut. You don't make the cut. I think it's very important that we have these things just in mind as well. And I think a good friendship now on our level, you know, because we are Christian, is a friendship that also has wholesome in that sense, because you understand what informs the way that you love somebody.
Right. It's the source of your love.
You understand? From. Love each other the way that you love yourself. Love God, and that pours into you, and then you can pour into other people. And so for me, it's very, very important when that scripture speaks about love in all its form, and love being patient and kind and all of these different things.
Corinthians 13 for those who are interested.
Yes, you can go check it out. Literally, sometimes I sit there and I'm like, okay, all of these things, obviously I'm not a perfect human being, but I know a perfect God and He can teach me. And so I have learned in my friendships to apply that. That's why I say it's disenfranchised. We think friendships just happen. No, you have to apply yourself. So the purpose is as well, it should help you grow, it should help you better yourself in character as well. So
perfect.
But like we mentioned now, that friendships are not acquaintances. You have different levels. You're not a person that you're hi, every time you see them you're happy, but that doesn't mean they're your friends. You understand? I think very important, a friend is also somebody that can pour into you. And that's why you need to be very picky. Like, I know a lot of people, I don't have a lot of friends. I'm not lonely. It's just a thing of you need to be very somebody that's not lonely wouldn't say that, but I'm genuinely not lonely, because you know a lot of people, but a friend is actually somebody that you open. Literally, it's like opening your chest, and you know how your vital organs are very, very sensitive. A friend is somebody that you open up spiritually, emotionally, physically, psychologically. You literally, it's like open chest, open cavities,
and they have access to you,
and they have access. And so you don't just let anybody add. Like, I don't understand how people are just, that's my friend. Like, do you know if she washes her hands after using the bathroom? All of these things you see, all of these things all of these things speak to you as a person. You understand? I know the moment that I let Knox into my life, because we knew each other in passing. We had a common friend, Ingrid.
Let me show you like a picture of Ingrid. just like here.
We had a common friend in Ingrid, so I knew her in passing, and then we also, like we've mentioned before, went to the same church. It was very like hi from afar. And then, but like I said, I saw her from far and I was like, there's something on this girl and I want that in my life, right? But that was just like wishful, wanting. And then we became friends.
Want.
Yes, you must want. And then literally when we became friends, I evaluated my life and I said, okay, I'm allowing this person in. They're gonna bring good. They might bring some bad because we are human beings at the end of the time. One of my friends loves saying this, I'm a human being, I'm not a human done, so I'm gonna make mistakes because I'm still being.
So my classic is where there's human error.
Exactly, you understand. So I decided that I was gonna let her. So I opened myself up and I can see what she's added. I see the ways that we were already so similar. We are so similar, it's weird.
It's actually weird sometimes.
Yeah,
but it's cool.
I was just thinking about that, like that little dance you did earlier. I was like, that's me. But anyway, like I decided to let her in and I can see her handprint. I can see the way that I talk. I can see the way it changed my life, my thinking. I can see how it affected my paradigms. So you can't just let anybody in. So we were speaking about friendships and I guess mainly focusing on the other person, what they can bring to the table and all of that. But I think it's very important to know yourself.
I think knowing yourself is one of the best things. Remember when I was saying how you can feel that this is not the right space for you, but that only comes when you know yourself, when you know who you are, what you're about. Look, we're all different. We all bring different things to the table. We all expect different things. We all have different backgrounds, so on and so forth. So you need to be very self-aware when it comes to putting yourself out there to be exposed to a very healthy friendship and also allowing someone into your life. You need to know who you are because that informs how you communicate. It informs how you perceive things because sometimes like Divine and I will perceive things differently. Maybe this is what she meant, but this is what I got, or vice versa.
And we have to talk.
And you have to talk about that because you need to communicate. And that's another thing is friendships are such a great ground for you to practice these skills that will carry you through business, that will carry you through your future spouse. You need to be able to know who you are, and knowing who you are comes with spending time with yourself. It really does. Spending time with yourself, spending time with your thoughts, spending time with God, getting to know who you are. As I said, being aware of yourself in situations. This is how I react when I'm in this environment. Okay, this is how I see things. Wow, that thing that happened made me feel this way. So I perceive things like this. And as you don't have to be super knowledgeable about it 24/7 in the sense that you don't have to be super aware, but naturally as you
reflect on these things as time. So as she was speaking, I actually thought about something. I study psychology, so I see things through those lenses as well. And very, very important is to know your love languages, to know your personality type. Because you might feel like, I have a friend of mine, Vuyo, shout out. Vuyo has such a big personality. He is loud all the time. And for the longest time, I just used to get irritated around him. I was like, dude, I literally said this word for word and I'm sorry because it's actually hurtful. I always used to tell me, Vuyo, you're overwhelming all my senses. My sight, my taste, my feel.
Your taste. How did the taste?
I don't understand. I needed Vuyo like in doses, like a little bit. And now I realize it's because of my personality type. I know, I'm still figuring it out sometimes, but I feel like I'm extroverted. I can be very social. And sometimes I'm like, dude, like you've been speaking for 5 minutes.
Stop.
Just go take a walk and then come back. I'll be here. Like sometimes I get overwhelmed by people.
I'm yo. Like I love my space. Anybody who knows me, don't overcrowd me. Like it's such a big deal for me that like I sometimes struggle to communicate that because you don't want to seem like you're pushing a person away by saying that, listen,
but you see, that's where the communication comes. Because when we started our friendship, I love my space, and at the same time, I'm like this with people. And so sometimes I'll come in, I'll just feel like she doesn't want me here, she doesn't love me, I should move out. So I had to understand that I will come into her space and we'll spend time and literally laugh, and I'll catch her up on things, and then we'll spend time and then
Our neighbor is actually, he's not okay, but he makes really good friends. Oh, shucks! Shucks! Leave him alone.
so I had to understand her and say, okay, now after we communicated, because I felt like maybe she didn't want me around, and I was like, should I leave? She doesn't love me. And it was like, no, she adores me, but she likes her space. But it only came after communicating. And for me, because my love language is quality time, physical touch, gifts, what you do. So whenever she wouldn't come spend time with me, I'll feel like, am I annoying her or does she not want me? But it was only after communication that we came to that conclusion. So it's very, very important that you do that test. I'll link it in the bio. So you go find out what's your personality type and what's your love language. It's very important that you find out who you are and how you love and how you want to be loved. Because you know, how are you gonna get into friendships if you can't communicate what you need and what you want? And I think that's something that actually something that I did with my friends. At some point we just had a lot of friction, and we actually sat down and I was like, okay, tell me, how do you need me to love you? Tell me what you want me to do. Not just my friendship, even my sisters. And we got to a point where we were just fighting a lot, and we sat down and I was like, okay dude, what do you want from me? What do you expect from me? It's very important to communicate that. And
communication is
everything.
I think it's everything. We don't realize as human beings we're wired for communication. To communicate with God, to communicate with each other.
And I think something that really stuck with me is that just because love and chemistry is born doesn't mean it's gonna stay alive.
Right.
You have to sustain them, maintain them, and communication is the one thing. And make your friends feel special.
And maintain.
You understand?
Make them feel special.
Like, I wouldn't stay in this friendship if I felt like she didn't care, and I don't think she would stay if she felt like she wasn't cared for. You understand? That whole healing aspect.
As if that person is an afterthought.
Yes, you understand. You have to prioritize. Like, when we had our meeting, we're like, okay, we're gonna have our meeting and talk business, and then we went to this restaurant and we got the food and we're like, okay, pens and our notebooks on the side, and we just sat and ate for like a good 30 minutes, and it was so beautiful to just be there as a friend. You understand? I feel like sometimes there's so many layers, especially if you're working with your friends, or you go to church with your friends, or you have like church activities,
groups or whatever.
You understand? So make time to appreciate, like I make time to appreciate her as a business partner, as, you know, somebody I can bounce ideas off with and all of that. And I take time to appreciate her as a nerdy girl, as a music lover. We sit and talk about films, we speak about photography, all these different things, because I need to appreciate her as Knox. All these other things are things that she wears on top of her, like to add, like, okay, she's a doctor, she's, you know, she's a business partner, or she's all of this, she's a mogul, she's a CEO. And then when she takes them off and it's just Knox, I need to appreciate that more, because that feeds into all of these different identities and all these different roles that she fulfills. But yeah, so maintain your friendships.
Maintain your friendships. And how do you maintain your friendships? Like, on a practical.
Go on friendship dates. Yesterday was Valentine's Day. I took my girlfriends out for, they paid for themselves. But I got them gifts and then we had lunch. So go on friendship lunch, find out music, share with them, have literally things that you will do romantically, find a way that you can do it platonically, and actually find your niche and find out what it is that you guys love doing together. Go for a run together. Go learn how to knit together. You understand? Go to art galleries together. So study together, pray together, whatever it is you need. Practically do everything that you would do in a relationship. Don't kiss them on the mouth with tongue or anything like that, but everything else. So now we want to maybe just touch on toxic relationships.
Toxic friendships.
If you think you are in a toxic friendship, you probably are. Because you understand, if you feel if you don't feel appreciated, if you feel like you're asking too much, if you feel like you're not prioritized as a friend, if you feel like they're taking from you and they never give, if you feel like you're always the giver, if you always feel like, I don't know, like they only come to you when they need money, when they need like a favor, then you're probably in a toxic relationship and friendship, and you need to walk away.
I think a lot of times people are like, toxic, well, I'm not being abused.
Just because they don't punch you don't mean they're not toxic.
Toxic is really
anything that pollutes.
Anything that pollutes and makes you feel undermined, undervalued, and less than.
Yeah.
Undermine, undervalue, and less than.
Bring the beat in.
Undermine, undervalue, and less than. Then you know that you are in a toxic relationship. And toxic relationships are relationships that honestly drain you.
Yeah.
They drain you. They
If you
make
feel
you
just-
emotional.
Yo.
Emotional. And they always, and that's the thing with toxicity, because you always look inside of yourself like, am I doing something wrong?
Yes.
But you can only do that for so long.
Yeah.
Until eventually you're just like,
Man, I'm bomb though.
like I'm bomb. Like,
You like it to have me though. You understand? So it's
Yeah.
very important to actually, and the reason why I actually thought about the word polluting, it's like, let's say you walk into a room and then you left like a nice basin and you know like there was like a rubber ducky or whatever, and then you see like this little like frog inside, you know you didn't bring that in. So it's all about self-awareness. Know yourself, so that when these feelings, you understand, looking inward, is there something wrong? Then you know this is not something I brought in and it needs to be taken out. And the truth is, we have been in toxic relationships where we were abused, where we were the abuser. And so knowing that balance, you know, unknowingly, I don't think somebody wakes up in the morning and say, I'm gonna be a narcissistic person where I only speak about my issues and I never actually let you speak. You understand? So sometimes you can be on both ends of the situation. The truth is, you need to analyze that if it's worth saving, you know.
Be aware, admit,
Yes.
and then is it worth saving?
There was a phase where I was in this friendship and it was very draining, where I was like, this person is not talking to me, and I've communicated what I need, I've communicated what my love language is, and we get along, but it doesn't feel like this person appreciates me. And she told me sometimes you just need to chuck the deuce, and sometimes it will be the end of something, and it's sad, especially if you've known the person for years. And sometimes you'll meet each other again later on. And that's a beautiful thing. Like, she told me about a friendship that she rekindled a few years later. So there will be a time when some things are just gonna fall apart, and I feel like it's almost like a death, and you have to mourn that and let that go. And then when, you know, God is capable of restoring friendships, and I 100% believe that, we put in the work, but you need to be able to discern, is this time to let go or is this time to hold on? And you only do that, you only know that in spending time in the Word of God, spending time in God's presence, and actually having people that you can bounce off ideas with.
Yes.
So when I'm fighting with a friend or something's happening, I do speak to her, and I'm like, okay, what do you think? I speak to other people. So yeah.
No, it's so important. Like, sure, friendships and toxicity and how to move on from that. Like, I love what you said about it's gonna be a mourning process, really, because you've lost someone who you've shared yourself with. But I think what's important is deciding whether that relationship is worth the deuce or not.
Yeah.
And deuce doesn't mean you go walk up to that person's face and you're like, yo man, we're done, chuck. You know, it's not that dramatic. Sometimes it can be so naturally progressive that you just grow apart, and then you find yourself not communicating, and then you make peace within yourself, and you hope that person make peace within themselves. Sometimes it's certain issues, you know, that really hurt you, or you hurt them, vice versa, where you have to actually sit down and have a conversation, and then after that it departs. Or you'll find that after you've sat down and spoke about that situation, that actually, wow, we actually just misunderstood each other here and there.
I needed to say sorry.
I needed to say sorry, or I needed to just get that off my chest, and then you guys can move on in peace, you know. One of my closest friends, Nobile, I remember the one time she took me to like a daily like I wasn't really at that time good with friends, honestly. I just didn't like this friendship, like not the friendship that I was in, but friends, like the whole idea, because I always felt I gave more. But anyway, so she sat me down one time and she took me to like a joint. That sounds so bad, like a joint. She took me like a place, you know, where you eat. What's it called? Restaurant.
You really struggle with that.
Wow. Like, she took me to a restaurant and then she told me, like, this is what happened, this is how it made me feel. I can't keep things for long because it eats me up, and then I start thinking about 1,000 million things, and maybe it's not that. And then she confronted me about something, and wow, I didn't even realize that I was like, this ain't a big deal, like I didn't do anything. But for her it was, and she communicated that, and I apologized. And sometimes just apologizing, even if you feel like and it comes with knowledge, and it comes with knowing yourself, and it comes with knowing the other person. Sometimes you just need to say sorry.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful, and you might save a whole friendship, and it might even get better.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah.
Some things are worth saving, some things are worth fighting for, and there's a difference between working hard on something, fighting for something, and begging for something. You understand? Like we say, friendship take hard work. So sometimes when I feel like work to actually schedule and say I haven't seen, I don't know, Boy Pillow for like a month, and I'm gonna hunt her down until I see her, until we sit down and we speak. And if you all, and sometimes it feels like I've been trying to reach out to this person, they keep canceling on me and they're not communicating. I've communicated with them how it makes me feel and they're not doing anything about it, and maybe it's just time to let go. And so
and there's nothing wrong with that. And like she said, God is such a beautiful restorer.
Yeah,
like I can testify, God is such a beautiful restorer, and if he wants you two guys to be like this, he will make it happen.
Yeah.
And the second time around, when you give it a second go,
it's so beautiful, because you understand, because I think if it's always rosy, you don't actually always appreciate the person, but when you've lost them, mourn them, and then it comes back and it's like, yo, I actually missed you,
I actually need you, I needed you.
Yeah,
it's another hopeful game.
So
friendships are beautiful,
and I really hope you can use these tools to actually build beautiful friendships, because all of these things play a part in that. So I hope you learn how to love people, you learn how to love yourself, you learn how to know who you are, so that you can teach people. You have to teach them. I like it when you do this for me. And sometimes it's like, oh, but they should know. They are not Jesus. Stop expecting Jesusicity out of other people.
I told you, making words here.
Yes, it's vocabulary.
Jesusification.
Alright, so guys, I really hope that you can actually use these tools to examine your friendships and actually make beautiful friendship, and that you have at least 3 to 4 people that you know that you can count on them, they can count on you, they can help you grow, they can challenge you, and that it feels safe, because that's what it's about, that you feel loved, taken care of, pursued, and safe.
And since it's the month of love, don't forget to just extend a hand of love to your friends, your family. Use this amazing month as an opportunity to show them, not just tell them, but to show them how much you love them. So we're so excited. Thank you for joining us and our new video for 2020. DNA. So excited. And don't forget to comment below, subscribe, give us a like, share, because this year we're going bigger and better. And we'll see you soon. This is DNN. Bye!